whoever the supervising teacher is, they will probably have to pause the video numerous times. All that you have to do is just simply raise your hand, ask him or her to pause the video, and then continue on. Okay, here we go, guys. If you finished yesterday's homework, do not turn it in. Just hold on to it. Okay, we will have a quiz tomorrow, which is probably a shocker to you, but we will talk about that in just a minute. Molly, keep in mind you have incompletes to work on, and Molly, I know that you still need help on lesson 6.1. I've not forgotten that, and we'll get together and get you some help on that, okay? Test corrections are due by tomorrow, guys. Please don't forget that, along with yesterday's homework. So, I gave you homework yesterday. If you did not finish it tonight. It is due tomorrow. Okay? Peyton, if you want the answers to the even problems on yesterday's homework, I'm sure one of your classmates has the little small piece of paper I gave them with a bunch of answers on it. Okay, and so if one of you would make sure she has that, and plus one of you needs to make sure she has the assignment too. Okay, all right. Here's what we're gonna do today. I am not mad. I just feel bad. Here are the quiz scores: 40, 20, 35, 45, 55, etc. Now, this was the highest one. Okay, so the highest grade was a C. Now, the next two highest grades were 70 and 70. Everything else was F's. Okay, now Kobe, you had the 84, which I know for you is probably not good, but still, you had the highest grade in the class. Now, guys, look, this might be my fault. This might be your fault. But this is obviously completely unacceptable. Okay, one of you students emailed me last night and asked about extra credit, extra homework, and stuff. Guys, let me talk to the whole class about that. I never give extra credit work because on every quiz, I already give you what? Yeah, you know what it is, bonus points. And every test, you can earn 5 bonus points. Plus, I drop your lowest homework every 9 weeks, and I drop your quiz. One quiz, your lowest quiz, every 9 weeks. Okay, so I do not do that. However, this young man or young woman who emailed me, you know who you are, do keep in mind that in this case, it doesn't matter because we're going to scratch these and just we'll start over because we have to learn this material and obviously it's not being learned. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Listen carefully. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you a quiz that is similar to the quiz you took yesterday. Peyton, you did not take it, but you can take notes. We're going to go over the quiz now. And the good news is, if you want to watch this video again tonight, I have emailed this video to every single one of you in the classroom to your school email. Okay, if you check your email later and you don't see it, email me and I'll resend it to you. So if you want to go home tonight and study some more and watch this video again, feel free to. Okay, but I'm going to break this down in simple steps. Whoever is in the room supervising, these students do need to take notes. Okay, so men, ladies, and yes, I'm using those two words loosely. Guys, we have to learn this material, okay? And so let's jump into this and let's go. Okay, now Stay with me. Focus. Listen. A coin is flipped 20 times and lands heads 12 times. Using this information, then what is the probability that the coin will land on tails if it's flipped 30 times? Okay, ready? Take good notes. Now, I know I wish I was there to pass your quizzes out to you, but we don't have that. So you'll have to quickly jot this down, okay? Here's what we're looking for. I've circled it for you, probability, okay? That's what it says. What is the probability? Now, if you don't know that formula by now, then that would be on you. That's not poor teaching. I've given you the formula, and the formula for probability is, oh, sorry. Okay, so we're looking for the probability that the coin will land on tails. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So here's the formula. Remember, it's favorable outcomes over total outcomes. Got it? Now, what are your favorable outcomes? Well, tails. That's what it says. What is the probability? That's what you want. What is the probability the coin will be tails? So my favorable outcomes is tails. Makes sense? What are your total outcomes? Well, that's the number of times that it's been flipped. Right? I mean, look, guys, it's not like we're flipping 3 coins or 2 coins. We're flipping 1 coin. Okay? Now, when you flip that coin, you're going to do it 30 times. So you have 30 possible outcomes there. Now, the only thing we have to find is the number of times it was tails. So let's see what we got, okay? I told you if it's flipped 20 times, it's heads 12. So I have, here it is, it's a ratio. I have 12 heads every 20 flips. Now, here's what I'm looking for. So remember, I'm dealing with what? I'm looking for tails, right? So this really doesn't help. I mean, yes, it helps me get this, but think about it. If I flipped it 20 times, if 12 were heads, then 8 had to be tails. And that's the ratio I want. Why? Because I'm looking for what? Tails. What is your favorable outcome? Tails. This does not help me. Okay? Now, I know that I have 8 tails every 20 flips. So, I want to find X tails every 30 flips. Got it? If I do 20 flips, I get 8. If 8 tails, if I do 30 flips, I get X tails. So, cross multiply. 20 times X is 20X. 8 times 30 is 240. Divide both sides by 20, and we get 12. Okay? Now, let's think about this. That means X is 12. So, if I flip the quarter 30 times, I'm expecting to get how many tails? 12s. 12. That is my favorable outcome. So a 12 goes there. Now, obviously, you have to reduce that. And when you reduce it, you get this. Or you can write your answer like this. Okay? Now, again, I'm going fast. I'm expecting you guys to have the teacher pause the video many times. Okay, it's fine. Okay, number 2. A coin is flipped 20 times and lands heads 12 times. Using this information, what are the odds that the coin will land on heads? Odds that it lands on heads. What is my formula for odds? Do you remember? If it's flipped 40 times, what's my formula for odds? Well, let's see. favorable outcomes over her total outcomes. No, that's wrong. That's the formula for her probability, okay? It's favorable outcomes over her unfavorable outcomes. Got it? So here we go. What are my favorable outcomes? Let's see. What are the odds that it lands on heads? That's my favorable outcome. So if heads is my favorable outcome, then obviously tails is my unfavorable outcome. Okay? So that's what I'm looking for right there. Right there. My pen's messing up. Sorry guys, I'll use the mouse here instead, but I don't know why it's doing that. But um now the mouse will be a little sloppier, but anyways, that's what you're looking for. When you flip it, how many times? 40. How many are heads and how many are tails? So here we go. Okay, so we know this. We know when I flip it 20 times, I get 12 heads. Now, if I flip it 40 times, I get how many heads? I don't know. X. Okay, so 20 flips, 12 heads, 40 flips, X heads. Cross multiply 20 times X, 12 times 40, divide by 20, and we get 24. Okay? Now, that is the number of heads in 40 flips. So that's going to go right here. Okay? Now, guys, think this is not rocket science. How many total flips are we dealing with? 40. How many were heads? Then how would you find the tails? Just subtract and you'll get 16. Okay? So 16 is your unfavorable. Now, can you reduce this? Yes, you can. But remember, you have to write it with the word 2. If you don't, you lose points. Anytime your answer is odds, you write it with the word 2. Alright, number 3. A number cube has 6 sides, and a number cube has 5 sides. They are each rolled one time. How many total possible outcomes are there? Now, yes, you could do this. You could say, okay, I'm going to start with my 6-sided dice. I'm going to roll a 1. And if I roll a 1, then the 5-sided dice could have a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, or 5. And if I rolled a 2 on the first dice, then my other dice could have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you could go on and list those out. And that's fine. But, guys, there's a faster way we've learned. Okay? You're rolling 2 dice. So you have 2 events. Now you roll. So we have 2 blanks. Now, when you roll the first dice, you have 6 possible answers or 6 numbers. When you roll the 5-sided dice, you have 5. You simply multiply those together, and that is your total possible outcomes. Now, almost everyone in the class got this one right. A couple of you didn't, but just about everyone did. But for those that did not, please watch this. Now, look, if you don't like this, if you want a list, okay, so there's 30 different possible rolls of the 2 dice, okay? Now, if you want to list them out, you can. You can roll a 1 with your 6-sided dice, and the other dice is this, and you do it with a 2, and then you roll a 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5. Now, the reason I stop at 5 is my second dice is a 5-sided dice, okay? Then you could roll a 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, etc., and then this, and then this, add those up, and you get 30, okay? Now, Mr. Earhart won't hit. What if we rolled the 5-sided dice first? Doesn't matter. Look, if you roll the 5-sided dice first, then you could get a 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Or you can get a 2, 1, a 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, etc. Or a 3, 1, 3, 2, all the way to 6. Because now, remember, the second roll goes up to 6 because you rolled your 5-sided dice first. You can have this or this. Now we stop here because your first dice only has 5 sides. And again, we have 6, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. You still get 30, okay? So look, I mean, not, I do not recommend listing these out because I think that takes too long. But up to you, okay? But the best way to do it is I have two events. My first option is 6. My second option is 5. Multiply those and you get 30. Okay, all right, moving on. Number 4. Okay, referring to the two number cubes in number 3, what is the probability that the sum of the two cubes is an odd number? Okay, stop. What are we looking for? Probability. Probability of what? That the sum is odd. Okay, what are we looking for? Probability. Write your formula. There's your formula. Okay, now what are your favorable outcomes? What are you looking for? Odd numbers. Roll an odd number. What are your total outcomes? Well, that's your total possible rolls. And hold it. Didn't we just figure that in the last problem? Yeah, we did. This is 30. Okay, we already know that. Okay, so the total different types of rolls you can get out is 30. Now, the odd numbers. Now, guys, I'm going to do a diagram for this because this one's tough. So, it doesn't matter which number cube you put first. Okay, I'm going to say the 6-sided, so I roll 1. If I roll a 1, what would my 5-sided dice have to be to give me an odd number? Well, 1. No, that's not right because 1 plus 1 is 2. It would have to be a 2 or a 4 or a 6. Well, now hold it, guys. Think this cube here only goes up to what number? 5. So you couldn't have a 6 there. Okay, so that's it. Now, let's say you roll a 2. What would give you an odd number? Well, 2 plus 1, 2 plus 3, 2 plus 5. Okay, now if you rolled a 3, 3 plus 2, 3 plus 4. If you rolled a 4, 4 plus 1, 4 plus 3, 4 plus 5. If you rolled a 5, well, 5 plus 2, 5 plus 4 are odd numbers. And if you rolled a 6, you would have a 1 and a 3 and a 5. So guys, count these up, add them up. I've got 2 rolls here, 3, 2, 3. I've got 5 and 15. I have a total of 15 possible rolls that give me out a what number? An odd number. Okay, so 15 goes there. 15 reduce or decimal. Okay. Now, if you said, Mr. Earhart, what if we did the 5-sided dice first? Watch what happens. It doesn't matter. Now, if you roll a 1, it goes up to 2, 4, 6. 1 plus 2, 1 plus 4, 1 plus 6. If you roll a 2, 1, 3, 5. If you roll a 3, 3 plus 2, 3 plus 4, 3 plus 6. If you roll a 4, if you roll a 5. Look, guys, you have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter which dice you roll first. The total possible rolls that would give you an odd, well, my pen's messing up, odd number is 15. Okay? All right. Your bicycle lock is a 3-digit number. What are the odds that a person will randomly guess the correct 3-digit number? Okay, so we're looking for odds. Okay, that the person will randomly guess your 3-digit number. Okay, odds. write your formula. Favorable over unfavorable. Okay? Now, what is your favorable outcome? Well, it is the correct combination. Okay? And there's only going to be one of those. Now, how many incorrect combinations? Well, a lot, okay? So we're going to have to figure that out. All right, here we go. So we know we have one correct combination. Maybe you chose 832, okay? And so, whatever your combination is, there's only one of those. So there's only one favorable outcome. I hope that makes sense. Now, how many total outcomes? Well, I have three numbers to choose. I have a three-digit number. Okay, so for my first blank here, I have how many choices? Some of you say 9, 1 through 9, but don't forget 0 is an option too. So we have 10 options. And then for this blank we have 10, and for this blank we have 10, and then we multiply and we get 1,000. Now hold on. That's not your unfavorable. That's your total. Common sense. If you have this many total and one of them is right, then how many of them are wrong? Well, 999. And that goes right here, there, and remember, it's odds. You have to write your answer with the word two. You do not write it as a fraction or a decimal. Okay? All right, number 6. Guys, you should have got this. It was not hard. If the odds of an event happening are 5 to 3, what is the probability? Okay, so I'm looking for probability. Okay, here's my formula. Right? Now, what are you given to work with? You're given what? Odds. Got it? What's the formula for odds? Well, it's the odds are 5 to 3. What's the 5 stand for? Remember? Favorable outcomes. What does the 3 stand for? Not total. Unfavorable. Men, ladies, think if I have 5 favorable outcomes and 3 unfavorable, how many total outcomes do I have? 8. Add them together. So now you're looking for odds. Here's your formula. What goes up top? Favorable outcomes. Which one of these numbers would be your favorable outcome? 5. Down here you want your total outcomes. Which one of these numbers is your total outcome? 8. It goes here, and you're supposed to write your answer as odds. Can you reduce this? No. So you write it. Oh, that's wrong. Oh no, we're looking. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I apologize. We're looking for probability. Sorry. What is the probability? So we leave it like a fraction or a decimal. Okay, my fault. Okay, last one. Here we go. So if the probability of an event is 3 to 7, what are the odds? Okay, we are looking for odds. Here's your formula. Favorable over unfavorable. Okay. Now, what have you been given? Well, you've been given probability. Okay, it's 3 to 7. Now, when you're given probability, the top number is your favorable outcomes, and the bottom number is your total outcomes. So, guys, think if you have a total of 7, total, keyword, total, if you have a total of 7 and 3 are favorable, how many are unfavorable? Well, take your total, subtract the 3, and you're left with 4. And now we're ready. Okay, what goes up top? We're looking for odds. Here's your formula. How many favorable outcomes do we have? 3. 84. And of course, we're looking for odds, so you have to write it like that. Okay? Guys, I hope this helps. If you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to email, and also use this video. Okay? All that you need to.